Hello Flosstube, I'm Nicole and I'm missing Bec again, so I'm flying solo, and this is DDsFlosstube number 14. Hi and welcome back to Darvanalee Design Studio. For those that are new here, this is a multi-craft channel, so today's episode is all about cross stitch. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, stick around. I'm going to go through some of my whips and all that sort of stuff to do with cross stitch, a little bit of stitchy talk. Normally I have a sidekick with me and her name is Bec, but Bec has unfortunately picked up a stomach bug from her kids and she is at home resting. She sent me a message a couple of days ago. I said I don't want to see you till next week. Get healthy. See you then. So basically she's off for a week, so hopefully she's getting a lot of stitching done while her kids are at school and she's resting up. And we cover other things on different days, such as quilting, tutorials and all that sort of stuff. So if it's the sort of channel that you like, click that subscribe button and the little bell icon beside it and set it to all notifications, and that way you'll get everything that we upload. And for those that are returning subscribers, welcome back and thank you again for joining me. I really do appreciate you joining me every week. Alrighty, so we're going to get stuck into our programming today, and basically I don't have much of a life update at this point in time. Dancing is all consuming at the moment, and so is quilting. I've been quilting in the background and also doing some assembling of quilting and working on Finish It Fridays, which is another show that we have tomorrow. And it is Thursday, the 21st of November here in Australia. So for those that are in the US and the UK, happy Wednesday to you, but it's Thursday here and it's Flosstube Day. So basically I have just been madly quilting in the background, trying to get everything done before Christmas. It is such a hectic time here at Darvanalee Designs, just catching up on everything because we've had retreats and all that sort of stuff in the last few weeks, as any of our returning subscribers would know. So I'm chasing my tail a little bit and not getting very far at all. I'm just sort of keeping my distance. There's a few bugs going around in Kingaroy at the moment, so I'm sort of just non-essential movements downtown. I'm sort of just sticking away from it because I cannot afford to get sick and people are relying on me to get their Christmas presents done and all that sort of stuff. So but I have been allocating my evenings to cross stitching. So not a lot's been happening in the way of, you know, getting out and about or anything like that. As I said, dancing is all consuming. That finishes on Saturday. Yay! Cannot wait. We've got a full dress rehearsal and tomorrow night for it. We had a full dress rehearsal on Sunday just gone. Plus she's also Neralee's also had dancing every day this week, except she doesn't have it today. And then Saturday is the big day, the concert, the end of year concert, and everybody is getting very excited for that. So I've got my tickets, I've got good seats this year, which is really good. Unfortunately, Savannah is working. I have to mention Savannah. Savannah is just, she's my little quiet achiever. She just sticks to herself and she doesn't get involved in any of the drama around her or at school or anything like that. She's very focused and she's just my quiet achiever. She's always my little bookworm, basically. I have to mention that I'm super proud of both my daughters, but this last couple of weeks I've just been beaming for Savannah and so proud of her, and without any encouragement from us or anything like that, she has just been really getting in there and trying to find a job because, as some of you may know, she wants to go to Vietnam, and obviously we're paying it off for her. It's through with the school, but we said to her, you know, you're going to have to help do this. This is a really big deal. It's $6,500 for her to go. It's a 3-week trip, and they basically plan it all. They have teachers and all that sort of stuff that go with them, but I think there's only 2 teachers that go with them and someone from the company that organizes all this stuff. But the kids essentially plan this trip. Everything from food, travel, connecting flights, where they're going to go, what they're going to visit, and they also do a community project. So it's a way for her to grow as a person and independently. We don't go, so she goes by herself, so it's a big deal to let your child go on one of these trips. I know that she's safe. The company that organises these trips and everything like that. I'm not even going to attempt to say the name of it because I don't know how to say it, but I'll put that up down below. It's a really good program that they have. They go all different places. They've been Nepal. This coming trip in 2020 is to Vietnam, and they do a community project, as I said, and she was really excited. She was doing girl guides there for a while, and she come home, she goes, Mum, I don't want to do girl guides anymore. I'm like, okay, that's fine, but you need to find something outside of school to do. You can't just come home and sit on your butt and read books for the rest of your life. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but you need to have that, because she's not a very social person. So I like to have her doing something after school, not into dancing, not about being in the spotlight. She's a background girl. She likes to stay in the background. She's always been like that. It's not a teenage thing or anything like that. She has been like that since a little girl. She's always just wanted to stay in her own little bubble sort of thing. And that's fine. I'm very much the same when I'm at home. I just like to, I seem very social on camera and everything like that, but as a rule, I don't really socialize that much. I am happy just to be with my family and just be at home. And yeah, so she come home one day and said that she wanted to go to Vietnam. So I'm like, okay. She goes, there's a meeting about it. We went and said it, and the trip looks like some of the trips that they've done are absolutely amazing. So I said, all right, I have to talk to your dad, but I'm going to say yes, and let me handle your dad. So basically I come home and I said, she's going to Vietnam. This is how much it's going to cost. I think it's a good opportunity for her. What do you think? And he's like, he just froze at the price. I'm like, we can pay it off. And he goes, oh, okay then, no worries, because he was worried about where we were going to get, that sort of money so quickly. And so we could pay it off over the time, and that's what we've been doing. But we encouraged her to go and find a job. She found a job at the Chinese restaurant, which was great. She found that in a couple of weeks, but it's only a couple of hours a week on a Friday and Saturday night. And I think it's about 4 hours all up. Maybe sometimes she might get an extra half an hour on an extra shift because the other girl can't work, or whatever the case may be. And that was great. We were super proud of her, and she was putting the money away and all that sort of stuff. But she kept looking for work, and with this company, they sort of have a partnership with Woolworths, and I kept saying to her, maybe you should just go and put in an application at Woolworths and see what happens. She was hell-bent on just trying to find a job herself. Well, a couple of weeks ago, she started her first job. The excitement on her face when she got her first paycheck was absolutely brilliant. Like, it was just amazing. Me and Brendan were just like smiling at her. She was so excited about it. She's since gone and opened up a bank account for herself. She's already got a bank account, but she's opened up one that she can access with a key card, where her pay is going to go into. Sitting down with me and working out how much money she's putting away into a travel. Like, she's opening up another account. So she's got a travel account, she's got a savings account, and she's got a spendings account. So just super proud of her. She's doing all this on her own. Like, we sort of gave her a little bit of a nudge, but we weren't, because she is so academically driven, we didn't want to impede on her schoolwork, so we weren't so fussed about her going to get a job. It was just good that she made the effort. She went and got the Chinese one. It gave her some spending money and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, super excited about it for her, and just all the new steps that she's taking in her life. And yeah, she's just coming into herself, and as you can tell, I'm super proud. So I just wanted to share that with you, and that's where she's sort of heading up. So now this girl is maintaining her school stuff that she's got to do, getting all of her work done and her assignments and everything like that. Her grades have not slipped at all, even with her having the other job and focusing on trying to find a job or anything like that. Her grades are holding steady. She is very excited to go to work, and I don't know how long that's going to last. As we all know, it's very exciting when you get a job, but she's pretty excited about the money and that she can help. Like, she feels like she's going to be helping to pay for the trip, which is really good. Like, it's giving her that sense of achievement and stuff like that. So I'm really excited for her about that. And but I've spoken to Brendan and just basically said, and she doesn't watch these, so it's all good. I said to Brendan, if at any time I think that she's struggling, I think that you know, she may not cope with it and she internalizes stuff, so we need to just keep an eye on it, and as soon as her grades start slipping, she needs to quit that job, and that she needs to drop one. So and they don't conflict, so there's no conflict of interest. So she does a couple of hours in the afternoon during the week, and then on Saturday she works. Sunday she doesn't work at all in the news agency where she's working, and then she only works 2 nights a week at the Chinese restaurants, which is 2-hour shift each night. So it's not really not, it gets her out of the house, she's meeting people, she's socializing while she's at work, and I'm happy for her to do that. So, but I am very aware that she could crash and burn, so I don't care if she has to chuck the job in. But anyway, that's all that's really been happening in our life this week. So you're here for cross stitching, not about me being a beaming mum and proud about my children and all the rest of it. So let's get stuck into the WIPs. So this week as I said, I've been super busy with quilting and everything like that, but I have set down 3 hours a night to do some cross stitching. So come 6 o'clock, I've usually, like I finish doing my quilting stuff and business stuff, I usually finish it, wrap that up by about 3:30, 4 o'clock. Sometimes I might head on to the 5 o'clock mark. I've usually got dinner going and all that sort of stuff during the day. I can put on a side pot, or I'll work out what the kids are having. Savannah and Narralee pretty much are cooking for themselves now, so I just put out some food for them and they can go ahead and go have at it, and then I just prepare a meal at lunchtime for Mia, and then I just heat that up at 5 o'clock, 5:30 for her. So that's done. And then by 6 o'clock, I'm sitting down. I have a break at 7 to get Mia showered and ready for bed. They're generally watching TV and or fighting over the TV, so I just stay out of that. That's just not my business, and not getting involved in that one. It turns into a blood sport at times, so I just leave that one well alone. And I'm just out in my crafting room or in my bedroom stitching away. So on Thursday night, I worked on cinnamon stars. So this is the chart that I've worked on. Okay, and last week I had just had a couple of stars done, and it's by Plum Street Samplers, and I'm doing this one with Stitching with My Bestie. They've got a sale happening on Instagram at the moment called Bestie Cinnamon Stars, I think it's called. And I'll put that down below and you can go and follow the hashtag. But I just love this chart. When I seen it, I had to join in. So I'm using all the call for colors in that one. So I'm just going to pop this behind, and I've got this up in my Q-Snap, and I'll just remove that chart from there. And I made pretty good progress last week. So you can see here that I had the stars, but I've got my letter in for our last name, and I started on the chimney on the house. I did want to get a little bit further along, but I was super tired last Thursday, so I only did about 2 hours on this one, and it was pretty slow because I was chit-chatting most of the time because last week I had all these stars done and part of this one, so I got that one done, and I got the R done, and then I got the chimney. But I was talking to the girls, and they were sort of chit-chatting with me about school and stuff like that. So not a lot of work on that, but still it's progress. And tonight I'm hoping to get a good go. I've got another 3 hours set down, and I'm hoping to get a good go on the house tonight. So I'm pretty excited about that. It's progressing really well. All right, so that was that one for Thursday, and in my rotation I call that Throwback Thursday. So that's anything like sort of like samplers and stuff that looks a little bit from yesteryear and stuff like that. And then Friday rolled around, and we had our summer sale starting. So DD Summer Sale on Instagram, we had that starting. I had my chart ready to go, and I was really excited to have a go at it. I wanted to do it during the day, but I actually had to do other work. I had to finish it Friday, then I had to put all the information underneath that, and then I had a whole heap of paperwork that I had to do for myself and also for Brendan. So I didn't get to touch this until the evening, and it was killing me because Tia from Acalm Creations, she's got a Flosstube as well. She's very new to Flosstube, although I think she's got about 10 videos now. She started, I seen hers pop up at like 7 o'clock or something in the morning. She'd been up early and she'd already started hers. And then So I finally got to do some stitching on it, and the chart that I'm doing is Country Cottage Needleworks. It's seasonal celebrations and it's the summer chart. Now there are a few of us that are stitching this, and there are a couple of people that are just stitching summer theme stuff and joining along with the sale. And the sale is basically anything summer, so anything that you deem summer. And just look for this graphic here and you will be able to find that on my newsfeed, and that has all the information underneath it. But yeah, so I'm using the Call for DMC colors in this one, except for the house. I actually used Weeks Dye Works Sally Sunshine. I actually had that here, so the house has got a little bit of variegation to it. So I made a really good start, and this was also, I worked on this on Sunday as well. So on the Friday I managed to get this pole done here and all the grass in a few hours, and I was just sitting there chit-chatting to the girls and just stitching away. I'm doing this one in hand. I do find in hand a lot quicker. So I got that pole done, all the grass, the little flowers, and that was 334 stitches, I think, from memory, because Neroli was quite surprised how much I'd done, and so she asked me to count the stitches that I'd done. And then on Sunday I started on the house, and how that needle just bit me. You can see there that I don't know if that's picking it up, but I'm using Sally Sunshine, and it's got little white bits through it, so it's a little bit speckled, a little bit variegated. So I got that done. So I made a really good start on that. I'm actually surprised how quick that is actually going. It's going really, really quick. So that is going to be done before I know it. So I'm pretty excited about that, and it's great seeing all of your pictures coming along and popping up in the newsfeed. So if you want to follow that hashtag, it's DDs, so double DS Summer Sal, and you'll be able to see all the progress and people's flosses and whatnot. And not everybody's using the called for colors or the fabric. The fabric that I'm using is a 14 count Aida, and it's called Dryscape, and I got that from Sew It All Australia, and it's the same one that I used for the spring, and I'm not sure whether this is going to pick it up or not, but it is like a really, really pale mottled green. So hopefully that picks up on camera. I can't really tell if it is or not, but it's very, I've just got the lights there, so I'm thinking that it might pick up a little bit better with the light over here. So yeah, that is coming along really nicely, and I'm super happy about that, and they're all going to look beautiful. I'm actually starting to get supplies together to fully finish my spring one, so that's exciting too. That'll be my my next fully finished one. Okay, so Saturday rolled around, and it is Sassy Saturdays, and that is anything to do with words. It can be a saying, it can be cheeky, it can be dark, it can be anything really. It can be a chart that might have a word in it, so even the summer Sal would fit into that. But I worked on Lizzie Kate's Mean Mother, and this is the chart that I'm using the called for colors, so it's going to pretty much look like that, except for the fabric is a little bit darker. I'm using a 28 count even weave that I got from a 123 Stitch, and last time you seen this I had done the mean and started the second started mother and had just started the M, and now I have all that done, so it's completely finished. And I got the I also got the line underneath done, and then I started on Never and started the next work. I can't remember what it is. Never Allow is the next work that I started, so that's coming along really fine. I am doing this one in the hoop, and I'm finding that the hoop is really slow going, because during the week I actually did a couple that I'm not doing in hoop, including the summer one, and you see how much progress I got on that. So I'm persevering, but I'm still struggling with it. So I don't know. I'll see how well I go. I may end up just ditching the hoop altogether. I've got a couple of floor frames and table frames and stuff that I'm using for some of my bigger projects that I've got coming up, because they're just huge. And I think they just need to be in a frame. So otherwise I'll be drowning in fabric. I'm using the call for colors, which are Weeks Dye Works, and they're all listed on the back. And yes, I'm really happy with that progress as well. Then Sunday rolled around, I worked on the Sal, and so moving on to Monday, I worked on all things Christmas. So that in my rotation, that is Merry Mondays, and I actually worked on two Christmas things. this week, so that was good. I'm just getting them out. So the first one that I worked on was Deck the Halls, and it's now fully finished, and that's what it looks like. So I am way behind, way behind. My intention was never to do this as the I just liked the fact that it was a bit of a mystery. My intention was never to keep up, but that is the chart. I finally got a decent picture of it, which I got off Cross Stitch Caterpillar's website, and I worked on this. I think I worked on this. I had a really late night on Monday night. I actually done a little bit more than I was supposed to. I worked on this for about an hour and a half, I think, maybe 2 hours, but I got a fair chunk of it done. So it's starting to look a little bit more Christmassy now. I finished Snowman, I got Build in, I got the snowflakes, and I got his head in. So there's some really good progress on that one. I'm pretty happy about how cute's that needle minder. So I'm pretty happy about that. I've just got his body to do, and then I think I move on to the next section of it. So I'm pretty happy about that. That was and this one here, we're just looking at it, I'm actually going to add some, like, a couple of weeks ago I got some threads that were quite iridescent and sparkly and stuff like that, a little bit glittery. So I'm going to add some of that to this just to give it a little bit of sparkle. So yeah, I'm not sure if you can see that or not, but yeah, it's coming along nicely. I'm really happy with it. And it's not a huge project either, mostly words. And you know, a couple of little decorations and stuff like that. So yeah, and little Em was sitting there watching me do it. She's like, oh, it's a snowman. She couldn't work out what it was at first, and then she's like, oh, snowman. So yeah, I got a fair chunk of that. I was actually pretty happy with the progress on that. It was pretty good. And then this one hasn't seen the light of day in a couple of weeks, but I finally found a decent picture for you to see. Now, originally I got this, I haven't actually been able to find this anywhere else. A few people have asked me, is there anywhere else that you can get it because they don't want to buy from AliExpress? But the only place I have actually found it is on AliExpress, and it was from a shop called Amy Shop, and I'll link that all down below where you can get it. This is what the full piece looks like. So I finally found a decent picture for it. There's been a lot of like just design pictures and stuff like that, but nothing with the full project. But I finally found that this week. So that's what it looks like. And I finally finished page 1 of it and started on page 2. It was a kit. It came with all the colors that I needed. So you can see here, I finally finished, this was page 1, I finally finished that, and I've now started to move on to page 2. So I've just started doing the border here and here. I finished all this up this week and did all of that there, and just finished off the last few little touches on this. Now in the chart, it actually has some back stitching in these what I call little flurries, but it was in pink and I really didn't like it. And this was in like a blue color, so I changed that to a green, but everything else is what it's supposed to be. And these ones here, and in any white borders, I'm going to put some of that sparkly thread through it, some glitter thread, and just to give it a little bit of sparkle. But I'll leave that sort of to the end, and yeah, so I won't do it as I'm going, because I think I need to see the whole piece of where I want to put the sparkle, what I want to highlight. So I know that these little flurries here are going to get it, and I'll probably put a little bit of glitter through this, maybe just on the tips here, and this one down here, I'll probably put some there as well, and maybe, you know, on the little heart or something like that. So that's sort of the plans I've got for that. So I made a good start on that, and I've got onto page 2. So it's been a while, but I finally got onto it. So lots of progress there, pretty happy about that. And it'll probably, that's going to get some loving in December when we have our Christmas sale for our 12 days of Christmas. So that is actually going to be part of the rotation. And so that'll get some more love. But I sort of can't wait to get it done. Like, I'm super excited. And as I said, I cannot find it anywhere else. I've looked on European sites because, as you know, sometimes the stuff on AliExpress is definitely not original designs or anything like that. They've taken it from somewhere else, and they may have put a little bit of a spin on it or something like that. So yeah, I sort of went hunting to see if I could find it, and I really could not find anything. I looked everywhere, and that's how I came across that picture. But again, it was on AliExpress. So I don't know. I honestly don't know where else I can look to find it. So if you do happen to find the original, let me know. That I got that before I had even started cross stitching. I just seen it. I really loved it. I wanted to do it. And at that time I didn't understand that, like, I didn't really think about the copyright. That my bad, I know, but anyway, these things happen. All right, so then Tuesday rolled around, and that's Anything Goes Tuesday. And for the last few weeks I've been working on my quilter's cottage. I didn't get as much as I would have liked to have got done on this week. I did set down 3 hours, but I kept getting interrupted, so I didn't get the full 3 hours on it, but I did get a lot done. Still, I managed to get all of, so the chart that I'm working on is, for those that are new here, sorry, can get it out, sorry about all that rustling, is Laurie Holt's Quilter's Cottage. So that's that one there. And I have just been working on this for a few weeks. So I just do a little bit each week. I generally work on it on Tuesdays. Oh, got all this fabric rolling around. So that is it there. So last time that you've seen this, I hadn't filled in the bottom part here. So I got the door finished, I got the 2 windows in, and I filled in the house. Excuse me. Yeah, and I filled in the house, and I managed to get the chimney, and I started doing the smoke, and then my timer went off, and I went, I need to go to bed. So yeah, I'm still using my timer. So I'm getting a lot of progress done, because I want to get a lot of this stuff really close to finished by the end of the year. So I'm really charging through. It's crazy season here for my husband, so he's working, doing a lot of afternoon shifts, working late and all the rest of it. The kids are in bed by 7, and I'm going to bed around 10:30, so that gives me a good 3 hours of stitching time. And sometimes, like, I usually start setting up around 6 o'clock, and you know, get whatever Flosstubes I'm going to watch, because I just have Flosstube going in the background. The kids have the TV, so they're happy, and they just come out and chit chat with me or come and sit with me. They know where I am. Most times they just want to watch TV and they don't really want to chit chat, so that's fine too. And then I know I've worked on a lot. I know there's a lot of whips going on, but the rotation is really working for me. So I've just set down those days, I've set down those times, I set my alarm, and I get going. And I'm just getting, because I want to stitch everything, and I've got a ton of charts that I've bought, and I only started cross stitching in May. Yeah. May was when I decided that I was going to do it. I think I started my first piece in June. I don't have my book here to tell you exactly when I started it. So then Wednesday rolled around, which was last night, and I pretty much put away, I had a stitch along that I was doing with Stitchonomy, and that's Halloween, but I've now put that aside. I've pretty much saved all the files for it to my computer. And basically I've put that aside till next Halloween, and I'll start on, I will start on that then. You'll have to excuse me, I've had the hiccups really bad all morning, driving me crazy. Oh dearie me, still have my cup. Pick your poison. It came from Becky from the US. She sent me a little gift, and she sent me some floss and stuff like that a couple of weeks ago, but I just love it, and it's got a sugar skull on the other side, and I'm not drinking anything exciting except for water. It's been incredibly hot here in Australia. Yesterday I think it was 39 degrees here. I think that's over 100 for you guys in the US, but it was 39 degrees here. We've had some extreme weather here at the moment, and it's pushing across. It came from across WA. They were up in the 40, 42s. Some places were as high as 45. Like, that's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So anyway, back to Flosstube and my stitching. So basically I have put all the Halloween stuff that I was wanting to work on and was going to work on, I've just put it away and put it aside, and I am just focusing on one piece now. I've got a needle minder just rolling around here, so I'm just getting that. So basically the chart that I'm working on, I'm using the called for colors. I am stitching on Quaker cloth, 28 count. It's an even weave, but it's not even. There are some thicker threads in that, but luckily I've watched a lot of Flosstube and they've said, you know, a thread's a thread, so it's still going really well. So this was just a pre-packed cut one that I got. It's from Zygarde, and it's Quaker cloth, and it doesn't tell me the color though on that, but no, it doesn't tell me the color, but it's this beautiful greeny color, which is beautiful. Absolutely love it, and it's beautiful to work on. I really do like it. And this is the chart that I'm working on, which is from Lily. Love a lot of her charts, and I'll show you in my haul. I've got some more of her charts, and this is Halloween Quaker. When I seen this, I just fell in love with it and just had to have it. So I got onto Nicole from Journey of a Stitcher, and she had it. In my cart it went, and I purchased it using the call for colors, and some of the colors are just absolutely gorgeous. Like there's just little pops of colors through it as well. So you've got this lovely green and orange, it's a bit of white, and there's a couple of pale pinks as well. So I'll just move them around. I'm just using a washi tape ring, so you can see there. It's beautiful. Like the camera's not doing these colors justice, and there's like a couple of golds in there as well, so they're absolutely beautiful. All classic colorworks. Absolutely love them. Although I'm only working with coffee bean at the moment, black coffee bean. Alrighty, so last week when you seen this, I only had a couple of motifs done on that, and then last night I was charging along. Look, I got all that done there last night. So now this flower here gets repeated on all the corners, and then this little one gets repeated as well. So which way does it go? It is that way. That's the correct position of it. So yeah, so next Wednesday I'll be starting on finishing that off. Hopefully there's so much fabric. Look at all this fabric. It's such a big piece too. Like I'm really happy with how big it's going to be. So yeah, so you can see there I'll end up trying to get a couple more motifs done. This one I was doing on in the hoop as well, but there's just so much fabric, it was just annoying. So last night I took it off and I've done it in hand. So you can see this was done over 2 weeks. Okay, in the hoop, so you can see how much slower I go, and then this was done in hand. So I want to have this finished by next Halloween. I want it to be fully finished and hanging up on the wall. This is just going to get framed. It's not going to get turned into anything fancy, just a frame to hang it on the wall. And I've got a Ouija board that goes with it. So for the next 12 months leading up to Halloween, I want to have those two things finished. So basically, and I'm just looking at the mirror, so I'm making sure that you can see it. Sorry. When you're filming on your own and you've got no one to film for you, you've got to have a mirror behind you when you use your mobile phone, because selfie mode puts everything back to front. So yeah, so I want to have this whole chart finished. So every Wednesday I'll be working on this, and then as soon as I've got the chart finished, then I will move on to my onto the Ouija board that I've got with it, and I want to get them both framed exactly in the exact same frame. So that's my plans for that. And so if I can keep up this momentum, I should have it done by mid-year, and I'm pretty excited about that actually, because it's such a pretty chart. Like, I know it's Halloween and it's weird to say something's pretty from Halloween, but it's a pretty chart. I just love it. Like, it's just got so many, and there's so many different things that you could pull out and turn into pin cushions and, you know, little smalls and stuff like that. So I'm pretty happy with the progress that I made last night. And that was, I only did 2.5 hours on that last night, because I had to go and get Savannah from work and Neroli from dancing, so I had a half an hour break in there as well. And I'm really liking the Quaker cloth as well, so I'm hoping to get some more of that. It's just really nice, and do the Ouija board on that as well. So about 2 months ago, I did a walkthrough in a shop out at Roma called Ace Drapers, and that's where I got it from. So I've got to find his card and give him a call and see if he's got any more of that cloth, because I definitely want to get it. So yeah, it's really nice. It's really nice to work on. It's really easy to work on. It's a 28 count, but I can see it really good. Like, really, I actually like it better than the Even Weave Monaco tea dye that I'm working on. Like, that one is just really easy to work on. I actually really like it. So super happy about that and all the progress that I've made this week. So I got some good stitching time in using the alarm and just setting down those hours at night, not even worrying about cross stitch or anything during the day, just getting my day job done, and then I can sit down and relax and unwind with some cross stitch, and then I can talk to you about it every Thursday. So I've got something to show you. So yeah, it's great. So I made lots of progress and I'm really happy about that. So next we are going to talk a little bit about what we've got coming up. So there's lots of sales coming up and stuff like that, but the main thing that we're focusing on at the moment is our cross stitch retreat that we've got coming up in May 2020. Now that's only 6 months away. Like, that's not far away at all. I realised the other day, oh my gosh, we're almost at December. That's only like 6 months away. So Nicole from Journey of a Stitcher has been helping me out with charts and flosses and fabric and stuff like that. So I've been spending some time on her store and chit-chatting, and I'm just reaching, sorry, to get it. So the charts have finally came in and they've been sent out in the mail to everybody that needs to. I missed the mail yesterday, so they'll probably leave Kingaroy today. Basically, I got held up yesterday afternoon with some customers and stuff like that. So, and I just missed the mail. So they'll leave Kingaroy today. They're in, but they'll leave Kingaroy today. So I've missed it by 10 minutes, would you believe? Like, I was trying to get down there by 4 o'clock and I missed it by 10 minutes. I could, because that's when the mail leaves, gets picked up, the day's mail, and leaves Kingaroy, and I'm just like, oh my god, 10 minutes, really? So anyway, I tried, but they're on their way. So the chart that we're working on is, so this is a little bit of homework that they're going to do, and I know that a lot of retreat people don't normally show what they're working on, they just send it out and all that sort of stuff, but anyway, this is what we're going to be working on. I'm just going to do things different and do it my way. Heartstring samplery, it's called Queen Bee Pincushion, and this is the little chart that we're doing. Now I am actually doing this in the called for colors, but I'm not doing it on the called for fabric. It asked for 40 count. Yeah, I'm just way too blind to see that, and I don't have all the equipment to like magnetic lights, magnifying lights, or anything like that. So I'm actually going to talked to Nicole, and we decided that 16 count or 32 count linen. So I'm going the 32 count linen, and some other people might go the 16 count Ada. So we gave two options, and I'm using the call for colors, but there is the DMC conversions inside this pattern for anybody that is looking at it. So the choice is really yours. Like, you mix it up for yourself. There is a complete alphabet in there, so you can put your initial in the little star there, and then we're going to do a fully finish at the retreat. So that's why I've sent the homework out. So that chart is heading out to people. So if you're considering coming to our retreat, that is the little chart that you'll get in the mail before the retreat, and we ask that you have it completed by the retreat so you can join in getting it finished. And basically we're supplying all the finishing stuff, so it won't be in that sort of style, it'll be in a little tartlet tin, but we'll supply rickrack and pom-poms and the stuffing and all that stuff for you. So and then we'll finish all of them together. So yeah, obviously mine will be finished already, but then I'll show you how to do it and give you a helping hand. It's just a little bit of fun if you need a helping hand, or you can just get in there and finish it how you want. If you've got your own ideas, well, by all means, bring that along with you. But yeah, we're going to finish it as a little pin cushion at the retreat. So yeah, so that's all come in. That's all very exciting. Those we've had about 5 people that have booked for the retreat. We still have 8 spots left, so you haven't missed out yet, and there's still plenty of time, and we offer a payment plan as well. So all we ask is you put down your $150 deposit, and that's the beginning of your payment. The total payment is $395. We've got beautiful accommodation, and I'll put up a photo here of some of the pictures that I've got, so I'll just put a little slide up there and you can see where you're staying. And yeah, we're planning on having a great time, and Bec and I are both really looking forward to it because it is our first retreat, a cross stitch retreat that we're hosting. It's a little bit like a get together, but we've got some activities planned, but the main focus of it is to get as much uninterrupted stitching done as possible. So we're hoping that the finishing class will probably do that on the Saturday morning, and then the rest of the time we'll just be stitching. And then on the Sunday morning we're looking at doing some botanical dyeing because I'm staying in someone else's house. I don't want to take RIT dyes and all that sort of stuff, so we're going to look at some botanical dyeing and the different techniques that you can use for that. Just to give you different colors, a little bit more subtle, more environmental as well, friendly as well. So yeah, so we're going to do that for the first couple of hours on Sunday, and then more stitching time. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, and there's goodie bags and all sorts of stuff we've got planned. So you'll have to, if you want to come along, head over to our Facebook page. It's called DD Sewing Retreats. There's an event there. It's got all of the information that you need for that, and also some of our other retreats that we do. We do sewing retreats here in the South Burnett at the Bunya Mountains, and we've got lots of different activities happening as well. Alrighty, so enough about that, but yeah, head over to our Facebook page and have a look and see what it's all about. You'll get all sorts of information from that post. Alrighty, so, well, did I get some haul in this week? Yes, I did. Not a lot. I got a few things that I just need to finish off for a sale that we've got coming up. We have our 12 Days of Christmas sale coming up, and that's starting on the 1st of December, and it is stitching all things Christmas, and basically it's like a mania sort of style one. I've got 9 starts. I think I've got 9 or 10 starts, and then I said I had 3 Christmas WIPs, but I hadn't started that one. I thought I'd started it for some reason, but because it's sitting in with my project bag, I must have just assumed that I started it. So I've got 2 Christmas WIPs at the moment, which you've seen today, and then I've got 10 other days to fill, and so basically what I'm thinking of doing is I'm going to have those new starts. So I will do 10 new starts, and each day I'm going to spend 3 hours on those. So I'm going to try and get as much as I can get done in 3 hours. I've already got my fabric, I've got most of my threads, and basically what I did, and I will show you closer to the date of all the charts that I'm going to do. Basically what I did is I just went through all my charts, and I do like Christmas stuff, so I had a lot of Christmas things, and basically I went through all my charts. I've got a ton of Weeks Dye Work stuff here, and I basically just started swapping them out. So instead of going and buying more floss for the charts and stuff like that, I thought, bugger it, I'm going to use the weeks that I've got there and some of the floss that I've got here. So I started doing comparisons. So I'm using a combination of Weeks Dye Works on some with Cosmo and DMC. So just whatever I had here, just to keep it nice and cheap. And I had a massive big piece of fabric that most of these charts were going on, so I was super happy about that. And also I've got other fabric here that I can use as well, so I don't have to outlay for much. But I did for the Glitter House Village one. I was starting to kit that out anyway because I wanted to start that this December, and so I worked it into my into the 12 days of summer, and I was just waiting on a few colors to come in. So they've come in. These were some of the colors that I was waiting on. They were sold out at the time, and so they've come in, and now I've got all the colors that I need for the Glitter House Village. And as I said, some of the other charts that I've got, and I can assure you that Nicole really wraps things up. These come from Journey of a Stitcher. In case you didn't notice, I do a lot of my shopping with Journey of a Stitcher because she's here in Australia, and I don't have to wait. So the colours that I were waiting on was Lettuce Leaf, Pink Posy, Cobble Beach, and Gingerbread. And how gorgeous are those colours? Whoops. They are just so pretty. Those Glitter House Villages are going to look absolutely adorable. And I am actually just doing these as ornaments. I was going to do it as a big piece, and I still may do it as a big piece later on down the track, but for now I'm just going to do them for ornaments for the Christmas tree. So I've got all them, and now I don't have to worry about chasing up those. And then I was, so I went to the news agency and had a bit of a look and see what they had. We don't get a lot of cross stitch magazines here from, we get the specialty ones from Just Cross Stitch. So like we get the holiday, so we've got the Halloween one here, we've got the Christmas ornament one here, which I bought off, I got from Nicole from Journey of a Stitcher. And so I usually just get, there's a couple that we get, I can't remember all the names of them, but the new one for Cross Stitch Crazy had come in, and I'm pretty sure this is a UK one on that. But I wasn't going to buy it, but I'm so glad that I did, because I've got some Halloween stuff, but I want to get a few more Halloween ones because Mia really likes Halloween. She's born on Halloween, and as you seen a couple of weeks ago, we had decorations behind us, and I'd like to have a few of my own decorations, not just store-bought ones. So I've sort of decided that I'm going to do a few more. And when I seen this one, it came with this little penguin card cross stitch, but when I shook it out of the way, I noticed down the bottom that it had these charts. So I thought, oh well, I'll get it. It was like $17 for the magazine, which is just ridiculous, but it's because it comes in from somewhere else. I think it comes in from the UK from memory, and I've just got to find them. You think I would have marked it beforehand, but I'm not that smart, obviously. Oh, here they are. That's the charts. Where's the pictures? There they are. So this is what I'm going to do over the next 12 months along with my Quaker. They're pretty small, like they're not huge. They take about 11 hours because it tells you how long it takes to do each one. And I thought that they would be good for behind us here on the camera and to decorate the house. And I showed little Em, and her favourite, she reckons, is, which one was it? The one with the cat and the witch. She liked that one. So that's probably the first one that I'm going to start. She loves sitting there watching me stitch. And this week she also asked me if she could do some stitching. So I'm going to go on the hunt down at Big W and maybe get her a chart, or I don't know, I'll find something for her and get some bigger, like 11 count or maybe even a 6 count Ada or something like that. Like there's tons of stuff in these magazines, but I thought they were super cute, and I just love the finish, so I'm going to finish them the same way as well. Like that's a really nice finish on those, and it's just in the hoop and they'll just hang up nicely. So yeah, so that is why I got that magazine. So that was part of my haul this week. And then a couple of weeks ago, I did speak about this. I got this from, this is another Leela Studio pattern or chart. And I got with the needle, and this is the chart. This was the first one that I got. I really liked it. And plus the acorn border down the bottom, I thought that was very sweet, and that's what drew me to it. But when I looked at the chart a little bit further, I really actually liked it. I just liked the look of it. Well, she's actually released part 2. So, and I found my fabric for it as well. So the fabric that I'm going to be using, I'm just going to use the called for colors in it. And the fabric that I'm using, which you're not actually going to see on camera, but it's a 28 count even weave, and it's called Iced Coffee. And it's similar to the color of the background on this one. So and it's a big enough piece that I've got. It's a 50 centimeter by 90 centimeter. And this piece will end up being, it will end up being 23 inches wide by 10, almost 11 inches high. And what I really, really like about Leela Studio patterns is on the back, she actually has a little box, and on both her patterns of these ones, they have the different sizes. So it gives you the stitch count. So it gives you 8 for Ada and also for linen. And basically it tells you how big it's going to be. So even on 40 count, it's still quite a wide piece. It's still 16 inches, over 16 inches wide. On 18 count, 36 count, it's 18 inches wide by 8 inches high. And then what mine will be 23 1/4 by 10 3/8. So you can see there. And that's what I really like. But then this year she's released another one, and it's called, it just came in this week, it is called with the Needle 2. And this one is actually, again, she's got that on the back, and this time she doesn't have the 8R, she's just got, it calls for 40 count. The total stitch is stitch count is 426 wide by 186 high. She used Espresso by R&R. The samples is Espresso by R&R Reproductions. I'm going to actually still use my iced coffee for this one because it's part 2. And this one on 40 count is 21 1/4 inches wide by 9 1/4 high, and I'm going to be doing it on 28 count, so mine's actually going to be 30 inches wide by almost a little over 13 inches. And she says Aida fabric is not suitable for this sampler as there are 1/1 cross stitches, so that'll be my first one that I've got as a 1/1. And she says to also allow 2.5 to 3 inches on all sides for finishing. And then she gives you a whole heap of instructions, and yeah, there's a fair few flosses in this one, and it's all classic color works. So this one she's sort of stepped it up with the that one had all DMC. This one is pretty much, except for 2, 4, 6, except for 8 or 9, 8, they're all classic color works except for 8 of them which are DMC. So yeah, but it's got a different border on it this time, so yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. These are getting set aside. These will be, as soon as I finish some of these other pieces, these will be into the rotation. Basically they'll go in, but I want to finish my Prairie Schooler, Where Are the Bees, and I want to finish my Cinnamon Stars, and then these two will go into the rotation then. So that is it for haul for me this week. As I said, we've got a couple of sales coming up. I have a sale that I'm doing starting on the first for the new year is my Hade. My Hade still hasn't left. There's still the update on that, which that's what it looks like. That's the Hade that I'm going to be working on. At this rate, I don't know if it's actually going to be here or not, because I ordered this back in September and they're still preparing floss cards because I just got them to kit it out for me, and it does take them a while to kit out. Am I regretting that decision? No, because I'm too new to cross stitching to be, because it's a max colors, so there's 239 colors in this chart. And basically I looked at it and I'm just waiting on the floss cards to be prepared. I thought it would have been gone now because their turnaround is 55 days. We're over 60 days now because we're nearly at the end of November, and I ordered it at the beginning, 16th, sorry, the middle of September. So it's only a few days over, but still we're pushing into the 60 days now, and I'm just hoping that it gets here in time. And it's coming into crazy season, and yeah, so hopefully we get it before then and I can start. But I do have another start apart from my 12 days of Christmas, which we've already talked about. That is just the 12 days, and I'll be working on those Christmas ones for 12 days. I'm obviously aware that, you know, maybe one of them might get finished, which is the Deck the Halls. That might be close to a finish, but not a fully finish. I'm realistic, like these are preparing for next year. So basically I'm doing the 12 starts. That's going to get me through the next year. They're small, they're only little ornaments and stuff like that, but I want to I have that Hade one, which I'll link all the hashtags down below. But Bec and I both have, it's from Ink Circles, and it's called Tapestry, and we both discussed a couple of weeks ago that we were going to start this as a New Year start. So okay, so I found a little bit of a loophole with this New Year start. Okay, so I'm in Australia, as you know, and Carla, who I'm doing the Hade with, is in the US. So technically her New Year's Day is actually the 2nd of January for me. So I'm starting my Haid on the 2nd of January, but on the 1st of January, Bec and I are both going to start our Ink Circles tapestry. So we're going to do this as a sale as well. This is going to be a long-term one as well, because this one's 199 wide by 199 high, and I've got several inks circles charts, and I want to get them started. So I thought, oh well, and Bec's got this one, she absolutely loved it and grabbed the chart as well, so I thought, well, we can do it together. So we're gonna have a bit of a chit chat when she's back about what our hashtag is, and this is going to be our Aussie New Year start. So if you're here in Australia and you're not doing anything on New Year's Day except for recovering and want to get some stitching in, maybe grab this chart, Journey of the Stitcher. I think I got this one from memory, maybe not, I can't remember where I got it from. I'll have to look that up, but I'm pretty sure I got it from Nicole, because that's where Bec got hers from. So yeah, go and see if Nicole's got it. If she doesn't, send her a message and ask her if she's getting any more in. If not, I know 123 Stitch has them, and get it from there. And it doesn't matter whether you're here in Australia or overseas, Nicole ships everywhere, so head over to her Etsy store, and that's all linked up down below as well. And yeah, so basically Bec and I are going to start this. So I was just looking at the call for colors. They do have DMC conversion on the back of it, but all the colors that are actually in this are Gentle Art, Simply Shaker and Sampler threads, and I price it up at what we pay for them here, and I'm looking at $110. So I'll be doing this in DMC, and I don't mind DMC, or I might do the conversion for Cosmo. I'll see how I go. If I might end up doing Cosmo and DMC, but I'm turning all these into cushions. I'm not framing them up to put up on the wall, so these are actually going to become home decor. I've got a whole heap of them from different people, so. And yeah, so that's the one that we're going to do, and the hashtag is Ink Tapestry Sal. We'll have DDs at the front of it. So yeah, so you can join along in the fun in that. As I said, head over if you want to do this chart, or you've got another one similar that looks very similar. There's lots of these charts out there, and you've got it there and it's been sitting there for a while. Do it as a New Year start. I'm going to do up a graphic for it so you can find it nice and easy over on Instagram, and we'll get that started. It's going to be a long-term one because it is a big one, and I'm just going to work on that whenever it takes my fancy, basically, and that's what I'm going to do. Alrighty, so we're getting towards the end of the video now. We do, as I promised last week, we do have a giveaway. This is going to run until the 12th of December. So I'm going to run this to the 12th of December, so that's a couple of weeks. That will be the last day of my 12 days of Christmas, and that'll be my Flosstube. So we'll have a progress video there as well, on all the progress that I made over that time. But I thought that I would give this little beauty away. So it's Heart and Hand. It is called Christmas Cheer 2, and I have 2 of these charts. So one of them is going to you as gift. I don't know why I ended up with 2. I think I thought I got the other one, and then yeah, so I ordered this, but yeah, that will teach me for not checking, because I hadn't received it. It was a separate order, and I didn't check my orders. So this is going to be the chart. It is, as I said, it's Christmas Cheer 2. It does have the embellishments, which are little beads. I can't open it up to show you because that's where all the charts is, and it's just stuck inside. They're little white seed beads which go on this one here, and I think the snowman's got some on it as well. I think he's holding one. So yeah, and so all you need to do is tell me under the comments. So it's going to run for 3 weeks, so every week that you watch the video you'll get an entry into the draw. So leave a comment down below and tell me what your favorite thing about Christmas is, and are you going to join in the Christmas sale with us? Alrighty, so make sure, don't mention giveaway or anything like that. Just tell us what your favorite thing about Christmas is, and then we'll do on the 12th, we will get all of those comments, and we will put them all in a list and we will number them, and then basically we will draw someone on the video, and then that lucky winner will get that chart and we'll get that out to you that as soon as we have your address, and maybe you can stitch them up for next year if you don't get them before Christmas. So I will give a couple of shout outs this week. I have finally caught up on all my Flosstube from being away. So my shout outs are for Carla from Carla Being Crafty. She put up a video this week and she was showing her mum's first finish of cross stitch, which was absolutely gorgeous. And she was super proud. She was beaming from ear to ear that her mum finished that, and it was just a cute little pattern. She's helped. Her mum's got some mobility issues with her shoulders and stuff like that, so it was really good to see that her mum was, you know, got in and had a go. I also caught up on all of Erin's. I've been watching everybody, so I'm just going to basically shout out everybody that I've been watching today. So this week, so 2 Martini Stitches, I've watched them. Country Stitches, so Liz and Deb, I've been watching them, but I haven't gone onto their newest ones. I'm still catching up on their old episodes. I'm up to episode 36, I think, or 37. So lots of interesting stuff, getting lots of ideas. They actually have, their channels actually swayed me to the way of samplers and that older style stuff. Some of the charts that they have done are just absolutely amazing. So yeah, and I've also watched Married with Stitches. They are just hilarious. I love watching them and seeing their finishes. And I also watched Stitchcraft with George, caught up on hers as well, and Stitching with My Bestie, I've caught up on all of theirs as well. So I have, basically all I do when I'm stitching is I have Flosstube going in the background, and basically I use it as a podcast until I hear something that I want to look at, and then I'll sort of quickly pause it, put my stitching down, or just keep holding it, watch it, and yeah, just listen to what's going on. So I have been watching a ton of it. So you can imagine 3 hours a night of just catching up on Flosstubes and watching past ones and stuff like that. So it's been a great time. Alrighty, so that's it from me this week. Thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate you spending your time with me and talking about cross stitch. Leave us a comment down below if you've got any questions about any of the things that I've worked on. Most things I answer in the description box of where to get them and stuff like that. Most of the places, the place that I shop the most is for my fabric is Sew It All Australia, and I also shop with Journey of a Stitcher. I don't get an affiliation or anything with them. They're just where I shop. They're good service. I get my products very quickly, and I love basically shopping there because they've got what I'm looking for. Thanks again for joining me today. Hopefully Bec will be back next week, and I look forward to seeing you all again. My name's Nicole Reid for Darvanalee Design Studio, and I'll see you all next week. Bye for now.